Feel what I'm saying? You can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. What I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now listen, we gonna get right into this thing, but I always start the lives off letting everybody know. You feel me? Time and energy is the highest forms of currency. Time and energy are the highest forms of currency at all times. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. So I know they got you out there chasing the bag. We all chasing the bag. We all chasing resources, making sure we prepare and stack that money up. But keep in the forefront of your mind that time and energy is the highest forms of currency at all times, my G's. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Now, big salute to all my investors in the DMs. Big salute to all my investors in the DM saying, yo, big GMB TV, the Oracle. And don't you forget the TV. And you better always remember the Oracle. What do you think about what's going on with Pusha T and Jimmy Jones? Little Jimmy Jones. I gotta call him Little Jimmy Jones the same way I say Little Zippy with the drippy. It's Little Jimmy Jones. And I mean, it's disgusting work, my G's. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But I had to tap in because you already know it's big 757, not the little one. It's the big 757 when you see Grown Man Business TV. And you know, I gotta tap in now. We in here kind of early. Salute to everybody that's up. Salute to everybody that's in tune with the channel. If it's late at night, early in the morning. Feel what I'm saying? I think I'm on my way to Georgia right now. Sometimes I listen. I cross so many state lines when I'm getting to this bag. Sometimes I forget what time zone I'm in. Sometimes I forget what time zone I'm in. Sometimes I forget what state I'm heading to. That's how crazy it is when you see me with this seatbelt on. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But when you see me with this seatbelt on, that lets you know I'm strapped in. All right, I'm strapped in. Big house, 18 wheeler. I'm strapped in. Now, I know y'all seen the thumbnail. I know y'all see the thumbnail. And the same way I do Lil Zippy with the drippy, I gotta do Lil Jimmy Jones. I gotta treat Lil Jimmy Jones the same way because for some reason these dudes, man, these New Yorkers, and it's no hate towards New York, but I gotta talk about these New Yorkers that think that they just gonna run over a 757 VA ball just because they from New York. Not gonna happen. And this is a prime example. This is a prime example. So I know you see the thumbnail. Salute to everybody in the DMs, saying, asking me about the thumbnails. Listen, man, we do it all over here. We do it all over here. And if I don't do it, my investors, they invest their time and their energy into this channel. They'll set you up. They'll line your little thumbnail up nice and neat, and they'll put that glizzy right on your mouth. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Now let's talk about King Push. Let's talk about Lil Jimmy Jones. Listen, man, we all see what's going on. Lil Jim Jones, he felt the way about King Push. You know what I'm saying? Big 757. Salute, my G. Um, Being put on the top 50 rappers list. Top 50 rappers of all times. Lil Jimmy Jones, he felt the way about King Push being put on that list. Now, nobody but Jim Jones felt that way. If you noticed it was nobody else that had a problem with King Push being put on that list because everybody respects King Push for what he does and what he has done for hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? Now, Jim Jones, he act like he don't know. Jim Jones, he act like he can't remember. He got a short attention span. He had a short memory bank. He's getting old. He got a lot of gray hairs. He got a lot of, he's 50 something years old, and dementia and Alzheimer's starts to sink in for some of these guys. And I feel like, hey, Jimmy's definitely dealing with some type of condition to feel like a Pusha T is not supposed to be on the top 50 rappers of all time list. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But Jim Jones made a fuss. He made a fuss about it, and he went on a Breakfast Club, and he got with Charlemagne the God, and he did a few interviews that made the net, and he spoke his mind. Now, one thing for sure, two things for certain: all men, anybody can have their own opinion. And that was little Jimmy Jones. That's his opinion about Pusha T. He don't think Pusha T has made an impact in hip hop. He don't feel like anybody ever wanted to be like Pusha T. He doesn't feel like Pusha has done enough to be on that list. Feel me? Now we already know little Jimmy don't belong on that list. He will never make that list because little Jim Jones don't even write his own raps. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother angle that I'm gonna approach. So after Jim Jones made that statement, Pusha T didn't respond. And I gotta salute Pusha T for this. I gotta salute King Push for not responding on the internet. That's one thing these dudes love to do. You a rapper, but you in the blogs all day. You a rapper, but you talking on social media websites all day and doing everything instead of rapping. So I gotta salute King Push for not responding. But we all knew it was coming. We all knew that it was coming. We all knew that it was going to happen. And yeah, Push recently did hit. He released a diss song. Now, in this diss song, he didn't necessarily go as hard as I would have wanted him to go, but he definitely baited old Jim Jones in. He threw the bait out there, and then he reeled him in. He reeled him in, and trust me, Jim Jones, he took the bait. He bit the cheese. You feel what I'm saying? Um, yeah, so out there in Paris, you got Jay-Z, you got all the stars out there, Pharrell Williams, Swiss Beats, Timbaland, all of these celebrities at the Louis Vuitton, runway show out there in Paris, out there, doing their thing, and we all hear this song in the background. And when you listen to this song, you hear Pusha on one of his classic beats. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one of these beats that only a Jay-Z or a Pusha T could take under the wing and slaughter like that. And he's getting that Jimmy. Oh, he's sending good shots at Jimmy. You understand what I'm saying? And just like Jim Jones, just like these fake rappers, these dudes that got ghostwriters, he doesn't even respond to push it. He comes directly to social media and he starts making posts. Feel what I'm saying now? It's a prime example of what I talk about when I say, up north versus down south. New York versus Virginia. It's been like this since the beginning of time. And I've always been boggled and been mind blown how recently New Yorkers feel like we've always been unified. This is a prime example of what I mean. You feel what I'm saying? And one thing for sure, two things for certain, the hip hop Grand Reaper comes directly out of that 757. The hip hop Grand Reaper comes directly out of that Tide Water. That's what Pusha T is to this hip hop industry. He is the Grim Reaper. He is the one that comes when your career is flourishing or as if it's over, and he comes and takes the soul out of your career. And I believe that's what's about to happen to Jimmy Jones. Yeah, it's been a long time since balling, Jim Jones, and you didn't even write that song. Any song that you like from Jim Jones, you got to check the credentials on that song to make sure that he wrote that, to make sure his pen is responsible for that song. We don't have to worry about that when it comes to King Push. We don't have to worry about that when it comes to Pusha T. We already know he don't have no ghostwriter. And he's lethal lyrically. You understand? He will smoke your boots. Listen, man. Jim Jones tried to make his points and say, nobody wanted to be like Pusha T. Well, let's correct you on that, Jimmy. Your favorite rapper, Drake, wanted to be like Pusha T. Your favorite rapper, Drizzy Drake, was inspired by King Push in Eclipse. If you do your research, you understand what I'm saying, Jim Jones, you'll see that Drake wanted to be just like Pusha T. Wayne, Little Wayne was inspired by Pusha T. That's why Pusha T made the song Mr. Me Too. He was directly shooting shots at Little Wayne. And Lil Wayne, being a lyricist, knew those shots was for him. Why you think they never did a song together? They always had a beef. They always was clashing. See, the one thing I noticed, and again, I don't want my New York subscribers to feel like I'm getting at y'all. But one thing I've always noticed about the majority of New Yorkers is they always want to take credit and they don't want to give credit. It's hard for a New Yorker to say, man, you know, I didn't make the top 50 rappers of all time, but you got some dudes from down south that's definitely on that list. It's hard for New Yorkers. And I told you, I've always been that country boy that question New Yorkers when they come around. I've always been that country boy that when a New Yorker get to talking that slick talk down here in Virginia and I get to hearing them, I'm going to press the issue. So I love pressing the issue on these New Yorkers. You know what I'm saying? First it was Zippy with the Drippy. Now I'm going to press the issue on Lil Jimmy Jones. Jimmy Jones, man, I don't know if he's trying to, reboot his career. He needs life breathed into breath, put into his career. But Pusha T is not the one. You saw what he did to your favorite rapper, Drake. Somebody tell Jimmy Jones that you saw what Pusha T did to Drake. Why would you test him, homie? Why would you try him? And the craziest thing that I seen recently is that now J.R. Ryder, we got a J.R. Ryder coming out of bushes. We ain't seen J.R. Ryder in 20 years. We ain't heard from J.R. Ryder in the rap game for 20 years. And as soon as Pusha T gets at Jim Jones, J.R. Ryder comes to social media and says, "Hey man, I might have to step out and come outside for this one. You might have to." Jim Jones is going to need a ghostwriter. And him and Max B aren't cool. They have been cool in years. So for Jim Jones to even do anything, to even try to fight back when it comes to a Pusha T, he's going to need a ghostwriter, old little J.R. Writer. You might want to come out, man, bring your pen with you, little J.R. Writer. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But I'll tell you this, if you ask me, Pusha can smoke the whole set. Yeah. Yeah, let's take it there. Pusha can smoke the whole Dipset. Yeah, I'm on the road right now. Like I said, man, I'm on my way to I think Georgia, man. We head towards ATL. Um, I cross so many state lines when I'm in this truck. You feel me? When you see this seatbelt on, I mean I'm strapped in. And I cross so many state lines that I don't even be remembering where I'm at sometimes. I don't even remember what time zone I'm at. But yeah, I'm in Kentucky right now, headed towards, ATL. So we locked in. But I'm gonna tell you this: one thing for sure, two things for certain. You know, Pusha could Pusha could smoke the whole Dipset. Pusha could smoke the whole Dipset, homie. Yeah, I'm up pretty early this morning. I wanted to get this live out the way. Um, and I know a lot of the people that come into the live chat. Salute to everybody that's locked in with the channel. Um, I'm sure a lot of y'all are asleep or on your way to work. So I'm okay. You know what I mean? No trip. I already know, y'all to come back and y'all rewatch the live. I won't make it too long for you. But Lil Jimmy Jones gotta, this has to happen. This, you know, so-called attack on New York, this thing has to happen. And instead of coming to social media, instead of going to YouTube, instead of coming to Instagram, little Jimmy Jones, you need to be finding a studio somewhere that got a nice booth that you can get in so you can start rapping again. Because that's what this is. It's called hip hop. Hip hop. One thing for sure, two things for certain. You know, Pusha T is like the rarest form of hip hop. He is a full-on lyricist. He is a cool assassin that doesn't do the spotlight too much, that sits back in the cut and will blow your top off, will smoke your boots when it comes to this hip hop thing. We're not talking about social media. See, and what you gotta understand is this. What you gotta understand is this. Jay-Z know what Pusha T is. Look at my last short. I just did a short where showing Jay-Z know exactly what Pusha T is. Jay-Z is one of the greatest rappers to ever walk this earth. He's considered number one, numero uno, head honcho, Hova, J Hova, and he know what Pusha T is. He wouldn't test Pusha T. And he wouldn't tell you to test a Pusha T. Big salute to all the NYC, all the New Yorkers that's telling Jimmy to leave that alone. Like, Jimmy, that ain't what you want, little Jimmy Jones. It's a lot of new. I gotta salute to all the New Yorkers I see telling little Jimmy Jones, listen, that 757 Virginia boy, yeah, that boy that fresh up out that Tide Water Pusha T, straight out of the 757, that ain't what you want. That ain't really what you want, little Jimmy. It's a lot of look in his comments, man. It's a lot of people saying, nah, Jimmy, but then you still got those New Yorkers. You still got those New Yorkers that feel like New York is inevitable, invincible. They feel like New York is invincible. And listen, man, I know it hurts. I know it hurts to hear this, but I'm proud to be the country boy, the Virginia boy to let y'all know this. The rain been over, and I can't wait to see Pusha T. I feel like Pusha T he done baited Jim Jones in, and he gonna smoke his boots just for the hell of it, for the fun of it. Look at Jay-Z face when he heard that track Pusha T dropped for Jimmy. Look at Jay-Z face. Look at the face. He doing like this. Jay-Z like this. When he hear Pusha T spitting them bars. He know what he listening to. And I mean, that was light. That was fire, but it was light. Pusha could go way harder. Pusha could go way hard. He's going to. I said, hey, Push T, smoke his boots, man. One thing we love to see down south is a New Yorker get his boots smoked. Nothing. It ain't gotta be nothing violent. I'm talking about hip hop to hip hop, straight rap. Oh, I love to see it. One of you Yankee boys come down here thinking, oh, they country, and then one of them boys smoke your boots. Jim Jones, nobody want, man. Your favorite rapper wanted to be like Pusha T. Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy. I know. Listen, man, it ain't gonna work out well for you. And I'm not gonna do a whole bunch of videos about this. I did a short about it already. And I said, you know what, let me go live about this. A lot of people be lurking in my lives. They come back, they rewatch the live, they be checking it out. A lot of people put their eye on it. So I said, let me talk about this. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, salute to King Push. And this is the thing, man. I don't pick no sides like that. When Pusha T sat down beside Lil Nas X with matching socks, I did a video about that, and I spoke to Pusha T, and I told him how I felt about that. And I got a lot of flack. I got a lot of people in the DMs telling me, reaching out to me about that video I did about Pusha T. But that's just how I felt. I didn't like seeing Pusha T sitting beside Lil Nas X with matching socks. But what you got to understand is none of these rappers are clean. Oh, see, I could take it to a whole nother level. None of these rappers are clean. Hold on. And when I say none of these rappers are clean, hold on, guys. What do you mean by that, grown man business TV, when you say none of these rappers are clean? Well, what I mean is, Pusha T had his thing, and I spoke on that with the whole Lil Nas X situation. But Jim Jones ain't clean either. Jim Jones' best friend, Freaky Zeke, is a rat. I told y'all we pinning the tails on the rats. Freaky Zeke got paperwork. He's a rat. Jim Jones has been it's some certain situations, you know, that will put him in this, make him look like a. I ain't seen no paperwork, so I'm not gonna necessarily call Jimmy a rat, but I'm gonna say I I don't know. I think he's an informant. I think Jim Jones has worked with the police. Being one of the top gang members in New York for as long as he's been repping that blood gang, not to be indicted one time, for me, that speaks volumes. That lets me know that something ain't right about Jimmy. So before anybody brings up that situation with Lil Nas X and Pusha T, I'm gonna bring up Jimmy being a federal informant as well, and then we can match the two, and we can go from there. But if you want to keep it hip hop, if you want to just talk about bars, if you just want to talk about rap, Yeah, this what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see. Pusha is gonna smoke your boots, and I ain't gonna lie. I hope Pusha pushes the gas. I hope he steps on the gas when it comes to Jimmy. I hope because he didn't say Jim Jones' name, man. He didn't get real vicious, and I want him. I hope that he mashes the gas and he says Jimmy's name, and he goes for the jugular vein. But you got to know the whole reason this even started is because Jimmy felt like out of all 50 people that was on that, top 50 rappers of all time list, that he wanted to talk about Pusha. See, the thing is, I told you, and a lot of people, again, they in my DMs, they in my comments. It's a hard pill to swallow when I talk about New York and Virginia and up north and down south, and the tug of war it's been for all these years. The underlying beef, the underlying drama, the underlying hate New Yorkers got for down south, and some dudes from down south have for New York. It's always been there. You know what I'm saying? This New York down south, this New York, Virginia thing, it's always been there, but nobody talks about it. It's just like a a common understanding that yeah, the New Yorkers, they think they everything's better in New York and it's better than being down south, and you know dudes from down south, they can't wait for Yankees to come down and set up shop and start getting some money so they can rob them and send them back up north. It's always been like this. Rap, when it comes to hip hop, New York is the origin of hip hop, yes. But y'all don't want to give credit where it's due. Y'all don't want to respect everybody else that contribute to this game. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. You know, Even with the origin of New York, Bambaataa and them boys was a bunch of fruitcakes. So if you ask me, you know, a big portion of hip hop was created by a bunch of fruitcakes in New York that was doing the things they was doing. That's a whole nother live though. Feel what I'm saying? So anytime I see something like that, or even if I don't see it, I'll create it. I'll indulge in it. I'll speak on it. That's why I stay on little zippy. Let me tell you something. I ain't gonna even speak too long about it, but before I said anything to Lil Zippy, I used to see him on his live, and he would like talk about people from the South, and he would have the little country voice, like, "Yeah, man, we from the South." He would see, they always low key try to joke the South, but we got rich culture, homie, and we powerful, and it'll show. You know what I'm saying? Look at it, Jim Jones and a Pusha T. Look at the difference in the hip hop. Look at the difference in the two. You got Mano speaking out. You got J.R. Ryder speaking out. Ain't not one person for Pusha T side spoke out, because they already know Pusha T is smoke his boots. There's nobody else from VA talking like this. There's nobody else from VA when it comes to these YouTubes, these apps, standing on business. That's what grown man business do. I'm the only one from the town talking like this. I'm the only one from the town standing on business like this. And I feel that. I feel the energy when I go home. They talk, yo, salute Big GMB, man. We see you do your thing. Keep grinding, keep going. I'ma keep going, homie. Hey, Zippy. I mean, my bad, little Zippy. Hey, little Jimmy Jones. We don't want to hear no more talking, homie. You need to go find a booth and get in it. Hey, little Jimmy Jones, man, we ain't worried about your jewelry. We don't even know if those lab diamonds or not. Pusha T addressed that as well. We don't need to see no more jewelry, man. We need you to go write some bars. We need you to push your pen, because we don't even know if you pushing your pen or not. All of your greatest hits and your biggest songs was co-written by somebody else like Max B. Salute to Max B. Stack bundles and them boys just writing hits for you. You think we don't know that, little Jimmy? You think we don't know, man, that you've been having a ghostwriter since you got in the game because you wasn't a rapper? Pusha is the last person you want to bump heads with. Again, that New York mentality, so cocky, so arrogant that you don't even see, grown man business, the last one you want to bump heads with. Pusha T be the last one you want to bump heads with. But the problem is for you New Yorkers is that us Virginia boys, we ain't never been scared of no pressure with y'all. Yeah, us Virginia boys ain't never been scared of no pressure when it come to New York City, when it come to Brooklyn and Harlem. We ain't never been scared of no pressure. So Pusha T smoked your boots. You need to go in a booth, little Jimmy. Yeah, yeah. Lil Zippy, he copping please now. Lil Zippy asking why I'm on his neck. So why you doing it like that, man? You already, I'm just trying. Yeah, don't cry now. Because when the New Yorkers, they used to, dealing with certain Southerners and running all over them, making a joke and trying to embarrass and yeah, it don't, and chastising, it don't work with all of us. So Pusha T was the last one you wanted to speak on. You had 50 people on that list that you could have spoke on, and Pusha T was the one you felt to speak on. That was your mistake, little Jimmy Jones. That's where you messed up at. You're over 50 years old. You're smoking too much marijuana. That dementia, you know what I'm saying? That Alzheimer's is setting in, homie. For you to think you got anything for a Pusha T. Salute to 757. Salute to VA, man. We create legends out of that water, that Thai water. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on the road, man. I'm strapped in, but I'm still gonna bring it to the people. We create legends in that 757. Pusha T, Malice, Pharrell Williams, the Neptunes, Timberland, Missy Elliott. You understand what I'm saying? Grown Man Business TV, Lawrence Teller, Joe Smith, Young Money Yarn, Allen Iverson, Mike Vick. I mean, I could go down a list of Virginia legends, homie. Legends out this water. You understand me? Yeah. Come on, man. Y'all boys is crazy. Teddy Riley. Teddy Riley is from Virginia, if you ask me. I know he's from up north, but he's from Virginia, if you ask me. Teddy Riley didn't stay in New York to do that music. He came to Virginia. Yeah, yeah. 757 Norfolk, Virginia, and the surrounding cities, man. The surrounding cities of the 757 creates legends. And you boys from up north, out west, that wherever you at, Midwest, y'all gonna learn to respect that. Y'all gonna learn to respect that. And little Jimmy Jones, I think you gonna be the first example that's gonna be set. I think this is the perfect example for Pusha T to set. A rapper like Lil Jimmy Jones, old Jimmy with the glizzy. Jimmy, you got the glizzy. First off, Pusha ain't even think about you, so you definitely got the glizzy. And you see the thumbnail, I got Jim Jones with the glizzy, and he looking right in the camera. He looking you right in your eyes, and he got that glizzy right on. Yeah, yeah. You gonna respect this 757. And see, the channel is doing well. We approaching 16,000 subscribers. And one thing for sure, two things for certain, I'm going to start implementing that a lot more into this channel. This is 757 Virginia, man. Lil Zippy, I don't know. Lil Zippy just thought that I started to, you know, um, shoot my energy his way because I was, oh man, you're on my weenie. First off, what grown man say weenie? But we not even going to get into that. Lil Zippy say, oh man, you're on my weenie, man. Nah. I hear how you talk about us Southern boys. And I'm gonna address that. I'm one of them. I'm one of them 757 Virginia country boys that's gonna address any New Yorker who think that he could talk crazy. Any New Yorker that think it's 1988. It ain't been like that in a long time. It ain't y'all ain't been winning. Y'all ain't been doing that in a long time. Y'all ain't gonna beat us in nothing, especially not rapping. It's not a New Yorker rapper that sound like he from New York right now. Y'all might who y'all best rapper right now? Ice Spice. I think Ice Spice might be y'all best rapper right now. NYC. Scarlip, the little girl Scarlip. I think that's probably two of y'all best rappers right now.
Get the fuck out. We ain't.
Yeah, that's y'all best rappers right now. Scarlip. Yeah, Jimmy, you don't want no smoke with a push ton, boy. Yeah, yeah. I had to get that off real quick. Salute to everybody that's in the chat. Salute to everybody that's tapped in. But I want Push Ton to mash the gas on that sucker. I want Push Ton to smash the gas. This is the seven cities, man. Y'all gonna respect this, Missy Elliott, Timberland. I mean, I could go down a list of legends that come up out that water, boy. Yeah, and Grown Man Business TV is the next legend to come up out that water. I'm gonna do it on YouTube though. I'm gonna do it on this app right here. The voice is powerful. The voice is strong. When I talk and I speak, they listening. When I talk and I speak, they listening. Jim Jones don't want no smoke, let alone a push ton. I got my homie. Listen, my homie A Driver, made in Norfolk, a smoke Jim Jones boots right now, lyrically crazy. And the wild part is, you saw what the Locks did to them boys. You saw these dudes don't have no real. Listen, they songs don't resonate with nobody. And the songs that they do got was co-written by Max B and Stack Bundles. You ain't even in the same league as a Pusha T, homie. See, the problem with New Yorkers too is nobody wants to tell them this. Everybody let these dudes walk around with their chest poked out, like they doing something, like they handling business, instead of telling them, New York, y'all fell off a long time ago. Y'all haven't set trends in 30 years. Y'all been trend followers for 30 years. Y'all don't set the trends. Y'all don't even rap like New York's supposed to rap. Y'all rap like y'all from Atlanta or y'all from Chicago. The last thing you want to do is bump heads with a Pusha T, little Jimmy Jones. Ask Jay Z what Push T about. That's what you should do. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, man. I had to have a little fun with little Jimmy, man, because and then he come and you instead of dropping a song, instead of going into the booth, you on social media, like this one thing, little Jimmy Jones and Zippy with the Drippies and these New Yorkers do. Instead of handling business, right? Instead of little Zippy with the Drippy really approaching the situation and unblocking Grown Man Business TV and throwing the link in the chat so we could chop game, he want to be a stand-up comedian. He make a lot of jokes and he make people laugh. That's why they come to his channel, because he make people laugh, and he's a stand-up comedian, literally. And Jim Jones is the same way. Instead of going into the booth and addressing Push T, since you so much better than him, and it wasn't nothing to it. Instead of dropping a song and going into the booth, he on social media making jokes, trying to be a comedian. Let me tell you something, man. Ti did it. I seen Ti do it. So I believe that Lil Zippy with the Drippy, Lil Zippy with the Glizzy, Lil Jimmy with the Glizzy should go on tour with old Charleston White, and they should all do a stand-up comedian live tour across America. People will pay for that. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Salute to everybody that's in the building. Salute to everybody that's tapped in. Lil Jimmy, you done bump heads with the wrong one. This big 757, not the little one, homie. And we create legends. We create legends, Jimmy. You will be made an example of. I feel like Pusha is gonna chop your head off. You are now on the chopping block, homie. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, man. Salute to everybody that's tapped in. Salute to everybody that's giving their time and energy to the channel. We only going up. It's constant elevation at all times. It's early morning right now, so I'm definitely gonna double back later on today, and we're gonna go live again. We're gonna talk about some more things that I've been thinking about, like that submarine that they just found. I want to talk about that submarine that they just found, but I'm gonna do a whole live on that. Not only the submarine, but the son, one of the sons of the guy that was in the submarine, the billionaire that was in the submarine. I want to talk about, his son, because it's levels to this money, it's levels to this paper. That's why I tell you, time and energy is the highest forms of currency. You could be a billionaire and your son could hate you. Your son could be just waiting for you to pass away to get that inheritance. Because once you get to a high level with that paper, it ain't all it's cracked up to be, homie. It ain't all it's cracked up to be. But I'm not gonna use this live to talk about that. But just know I'll be going live later. Be looking out for the notification. And make sure you tap in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like and all that. Do all that stuff, man. Jimmy. Ha. It's gonna hurt to see an old man like old Jimmy Jones get his boots smoked. Be man. Dang.